Hello, my name is Pablo Orantia. I'm a junior at Cathedral High School, and I have prepared a presentation about the marketing aspect of a business's work. Merchandise marketing is a very important aspect of a business's ability to sell their product, that is, to put it out to the general public's awareness. When you market a product, you must take 3 essential steps: develop, advertise, and distribute. These 3 parts make up the perfect circle called marketing. Development is the unraveling of a product that will appeal to your consumer range. The research on how to achieve this, the establishment of a product, and the further advancement of your beginning of your advertisement campaigns, along with all of the little yet important calculations that will guide you within your budget. So, let's put this into perspective by applying it to a real situation with, say, a company that wants to create a new product. Currently, they're searching for something to appeal to a specified target range that they have set. So we go to our first step, research. To upbring a profitable product, we must first research something that would appeal to your target consumers. First, you have to find your target audience, or your target consumers. You could go with something that targets a more general, larger range, such as one that includes all ages, sexes, and ethnicities. A perfect example of a product that appeals to all of these is the iPod. On the other hand, you could go with something focusing more on a specific group, which is what our little company decided to do. A specific group could be something like upper class, middle to older aged women. A product that could appeal to them could be, for example, a facial anti-wrinkle skin rejuvenating moisturizer, which is meant to substitute a Botox treatment and ranges from around $500. Basically, our consumers would now be the target we specified: upper class, middle to older aged women. Now, say we chose to stick to this product as our established seller. Now we take the next step into our research. We have to find a way to reach out to our consumers, and additionally, we have to find out how to appeal to all these types of people. There are a few things you will have to consider when reaching out to your target. These things include where this group generally resides. If they are upper class, then we could enact our outreach into, say, Beverly Hills or any other upper class populated cities or counties around the United States. Once that is established, then comes having to find out how to appeal to them. We will have to study their psychological, cultural, and physical needs, wants, and standards. For example, we can acknowledge that because they hold wealth and age, that they are concerned for their looks, being someone who stereotypically is very social and can afford to fix any undesirables on their bodies they don't want. Generally, these women act upon the situation with plastic surgery, Botox, or any other wrinkle-removing method. Which is a stereotype, yes, but generally stereotypes run this aspect of analysis because most of the time they are true. So, to appeal to them, we have many options. We can appeal to them by showing how well our product works and giving them many facts about its success, the Logos approach. We can relate it to some modern influence, like a famous athlete or a star who uses the product, the ethos approach. Or you can appeal to them by going with the attack their imperfections approach, which basically tells them that there's something wrong with them, but we can fix it, the pathos approach, which questions ethics but tends to work. By researching which option would be more effective, we can then decide which one to implement. There are also many outside influences you must consider. For example, the media. If the media is telling your target that Angelina Jolie is using creams rather than Botox, well, you're in business. But if Angelina Jolie is using Botox, well, you're going to have to find another way to appeal to your audience. But this sums up our decisions with targets and how to appeal. Lastly, we need our calculations. Calculations include advertisement campaign costs, initial consumer demand, pricing establishment, packaging design, also calculating shipping costs. Transportation and warehousing are essential to supplying. That will fall under the distribution arrangements, one of the few other things we need to establish before someone decides to advertise. We have to establish in what areas we will be selling our product, and in what kinds of stores and places. That way, we can put our locations on the advertisements. If you are targeting these women, then we will probably have to sell this kind of stuff in cities populated by them, in stores that are located in places where they commonly visit, such as commercial centers or high-class, high-level stores. high label stores. Maybe something like Neiman Marcus as an example, but generally not exactly that high because that would narrow the consumer range a bit too much. We essentially want to hit areas where they preside and in stores where they visit often. This will maximize their exposure to our advertising and our product's availability. Next comes the packaging. The packaging is very important to give them the first impression that persuades. This basically consists of the container that the cream will come in, the box the container will come in, and all other technical and safety designing and so on. Basically, a design that will appeal to the consumer's first impression of it, because looks alone can even persuade them to purchase it. But the most important persuasion tool in the toolbox of marketing is advertisement. This is basically where all of the creativity, aesthetics, slogans, and outreach come from. Advertisement is where a company begins to be recognized. People start trying the product and demand begins to rise, kickstarting the company into the loop of the facial cream industry. Once we begin our advertisement, we must focus on the development of our outreach methods. What mediums will we use to tell our target about our cream? Well, we have to focus on what they like. If the demographics of the Discovery Channel match the demographics of the product, then we publish. We put out a commercial on that channel. If they read Vogue, then we put out advertisements in Vogue. Basically, we have to find what trends they follow, books and magazines they read, shows they watch, general hobbies they enjoy, and interests they share. We need to publish our stuff in their magazines of their interests and hobbies. We need to put our commercial into their sites. We have to display our advertisements around the areas of the cities they live in and associate our product with their interests and hobbies in our advertisements. Basically, we have to develop our branding. This is the creation of a motto, a company logo, and slogan. Even little things like these will make a difference. For example, a logo should be somewhat of a sleek and distinct design that looks professional and is appealing and clear and concise. Next, a slogan has to be one that shadows elegance, something that will appeal to those with the upper class status, something that will promote the purchase. Next, the company will have to move on to the developments of the actual billboard, magazine, television, and radio advertisements. Not all of this stuff is done by the company. Usually other companies are hired to help come up with messages and designs for advertisements. Then comes the hiring of production companies to, say, produce a commercial, and photographers to take photos of the product being used to, be put in, for example, magazine ads. The company could even come up with an email, direct mail, and an e-commerce campaign to reach out even further to their consumers. Additionally, you can produce a jingle, something like Subway's $5 foot-long jingle that will stick in people's heads to the point where everyone knows what's going on at Subway. By the time you have advertised all of this and demand begins to go up, you have already distributed and are now receiving more demand. Now you are set and your business is set to produce.